on a very basic level, flushable wipes, quote unquote, packets of any kind, oil, grease, all those things should not go down your drain.
Let's just cut to the chase. We're here to talk about fatbergs. So what is a fatberg?
Well, a fatberg is something that sometimes sewer systems, they're found in the sewer systems. Macomb County found one made up of greases and oils that people have put down their drain rather than disposing of them properly in their garbage. And our particular fatberg was 19 tons, 100 feet long,
100 feet long?
11 feet wide, and 6 foot tall. That was our fatberg.
That's a gigantic clog, and if it gets too big, it can mean raw sewage backs up into basements or gets released into rivers or lakes.
Hi everyone, my name is Arise and I will be your moderator for this episode of Group Chat on Extra Credit. Today we are going to be discussing a topic I personally had never heard about, fatbergs. Joining me today are Brianna and Cedar. So before we get started, I have a little icebreaker for you guys, and I'm curious to know what your favorite flavor of ice cream is.
My favorite flavor of ice cream is mint chocolate chip. It's a classic. It's a little basic, but I love it.
Okay, basic is fine. Brianna?
Ben & Jerry's Netflix and Chilled is so good. It's
Ooh.
peanut butter, pretzels, and brownies. And vanilla ice cream is really good.
I love that. That sounds so good. Mine is also a little basic. It's salted caramel, but I just love that flavor and it's very comforting to me.
Mm.
All right, so like I said, we are going to be discussing fatbergs in this episode. And again, I had never been taught about this topic. It really surprised me. And it's probably one that a lot of people are not familiar with, which leads me to my first question. What surprised you personally about this segment?
For me, I would say is the amount of waste that people flush unknowingly, knowingly down the toilet every day or I don't know, like how long it takes, but just the fact that it gets clumped up like that, it's really crazy just to see what it actually looks like. Because, I mean, a lot of people just flush stuff down the toilet. It's like, all right, whatever, don't care. But just to know that there's somebody out there that has to deal with it and just shaking their head, just like, really, again, you're doing this again. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I don't even think sometimes about like what I actually am like putting down drains, and not just toilets, but like sinks as well, like oil or leftover food and stuff. Like a lot of people don't even think about that. So it's a good point. Cedar, is there anything you want to add?
I would say actually all of it surprised me. Like I didn't actually know this was an issue before today. So just realizing that like there's things that are marketed as flushable, but when you flush them, they cause like these huge clogs and backups. And like a lot of the problems in the sewer are because people like don't think about what they're flushing, don't care about what they're flushing, or don't know that it's a problem.
Yeah, definitely. It also surprised me that like these wipes are marketed as flushable wipes, but then they're actually like the main component that's causing all these fatbergs and these clogs in the drains. And I honestly, that's like false advertising to me. So I honestly think that the companies should not be promoting that message because that's leading a lot of people astray. And this leads me to my next question, which is, do you guys plan to take any action in like a small way or a big way, and why or why not?
It's like a good idea to take action, even if it's something that I've just now heard about. Like it is a big problem, and if there's anything that I can do, like even if it's just like paying a little bit more attention to what I personally flush down a drain, like I'm gonna do that because it's a really big problem.
Yeah, I definitely agree that. I think that change starts with you personally. Like, you can't just expect a bunch of other people to start changing it. You have to be a part of that change as well if you want to actually start to see a solution. Brianne, what about you?
For me, I think for a while, after I saw the video, I just stopped flushing the wipes down the toilet. Um, I think that what I would do really is just, excuse me, share the message to like friends or family or to those that may be thinking about doing that on a daily basis. Um, but I think that's probably what I would do.
Yeah, absolutely. Telling your friends and family is a great way to start. So, knowing like what we know now about this problem and about the fatbergs, how do you think we can move forward?
I'm thinking we could probably make awareness of the situation, despite how the product is being marketed. I think that we should let these corporate businesses know that you cannot continue doing this because this is becoming an issue towards like our planet and also towards the people that have to deal with that. It's unfair to them and unfair to our earth as well. Like there are many ways that we can actually do better with certain things like that. So I think that the first step would be to go to the people that caused the problem and see is there any type of solution that we could come up with to where I don't even know if it can be flushable. Maybe a fatberg still might be caused out of that, but I think just talking to them, letting them know that that has to stop.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think the more that we talk about it, the closer we can get to some kind of solution. I think on a very basic level, flushable wipes, quote unquote, packets of any kind, oil, grease, all those things should not go down your drains. So I think that educating our friends and family and those around us is definitely a way that we can start to see some changes. Cedar, what about you? How can we move forward?
I definitely agree with what both of you said. But like what Arai said, just letting your friends and family know, even if it's as small as just telling one person like that they shouldn't be flushing these things down the drain, like even that one person can really make a positive change.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. So, on a more practical note, and just to get some ideas flowing, what are maybe 2 to 3 things that each of us can do to be a part of the solution?
I would say probably just throwing our usual stuff in the trash. That's like the most practical way I can think about it. Because
Mhm.
as far as like grease and everything, I'm thinking like, okay, what can we do with that? But if you think about like when the oil comes with water, it doesn't mix, so it's not good to have that honestly anywhere out in the
Yeah.
open, especially around like large lakes or anything or oceans. So it's just like, what can we do with that? Because I was just about to say, like, so what do we do with these things? I'm pretty sure someone a little bit more educated than me would know what to do with that. But I'm just thinking, like, okay, a trash can. I really
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I definitely agree with you. I think that we just should stay away from putting those things down the drain. And definitely, trash is a better option than the drains because drains is just going to clog up the whole sewer system. And also, it could potentially, like, kind of like burst the pipes if it gets too bad. And then, like, the water can, like, flood into your basements, even, or just mess up the entire
Mm,
sewer system. And with the tests that they were doing in the labs, there's definitely some harmful chemicals in there that they're finding. So we want to be careful to stop that. Cedar, what's something we can do to be part of the solution?
I definitely agree with what Brandon said. Just making sure that you personally at the start, like you make sure to pay attention to what you're flushing and what you've been putting in the drains and to make sure to like throw things away or reuse it or whatever you can do to like make sure you're not flushing that anymore personally. And then you can also go around, talk to your friends and family, maybe put up flyers around your neighborhood, like just to raise general awareness, and maybe even like write letters to companies that are producing these things and like try to get them to like package it correctly and say that it's not flushable.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like social media posts or flyers, that's definitely a great way to start like spreading the word quickly to many people in your community. And that's how change really starts. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me on this conversation on fatbergs. This is a really great discussion. And while I didn't know a lot about it, after watching the video and talking with you guys, I feel a lot more educated. I really enjoyed hearing your thoughts and opinions. And I hope that this will shed some more light on fatbergs and how we can be a part of the solution. So that's going to be it for this episode of the group chat on Extra Credit. Bye, everybody.